Good morning, everybody. I'm Ruth, and this is Books and Budgets. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to start with my plan for my September budget. We are right on the cusp of September, and I need to get this going. Okay, so I like to start with a monthly calendar, which I do in the style that the Budget Mom does. I like the highlighters. It's fun. It's colors. I get paid at the end of the month and the 15th of the month. So I count this as basically the first. This payday, August 31st, was my first payday from my new calendar or my new school year. So everything that I was paying with that, I've highlighted in yellow. This is from the previous paycheck, which was actually me paying myself from savings, because all of that was my school. I have explained in another video, and I'll try to find it and link it here, that the way I get paid is I'm paid twice a month. Again, the 15th and the last. And when it gets to the end of June, my school district counts that as their fiscal year, and they want to close their books on that school year's paychecks. So they pay us on June 30th, as they normally do, but they give us 3 additional checks at the same time. So it's the pay for July 15th, July 31st, and August 15th. I, this year, put that in a high yield savings account and have been transferring it back to my checking account in the amounts of each paycheck, so that I stay I don't have that lifestyle creep over summer, which is very good. I've done it both ways. There have been times when I left it in my checking account, and August can be a little, it depends on how disciplined I am, but August can be a little rough. I've had to pull money from savings in past Augusts, but I did not this year. So this is from that pay, and the only thing left over was this, which I originally colored like this, but I wanted to visually still represent it. I have a hair appointment that I pay for out of the second half of the month funds, no matter when it falls. I get it done every 5 weeks, so eventually it will roll back around and be in the first half of the month, and then I pull it from my paycheck from the month before. Now, by having it done every 5 weeks, there's going to be a month or two, kind of like a month or two in my schedule where I don't have to pay it, and that ends up going into savings. Moving on, because I've got a schedule to keep today. Okay, so I've already filled this out with all of my categories. We're just going to run down and fill it in. And I had started filling it in here. Ooh, I want a black pen. So yeah, give me just a minute. Yes, I got another one of these in a different color. I think have 4 now. This one I have introduced before. Yes, I'm that weirdo. So let me find, here's the pen that I was going to use. All right. And you know what? Since this is this pen is darker than I've usually used. I think you can see it okay. I'm not going to zoom in this time. We'll try it and see. My school paycheck is a little more this time. I'm still estimating it as less, but okay. Big news. I got, I think, from going from one teaching year to another, I think my raise was $700. And that is for the year. So it comes out to being $25 after taxes was added to my paycheck. Well, I'm going to up this a little bit. It's still a little bit more, so I'm now budgeting $1,700. Transfer to savings, $25. Mortgage, I budget $845. AT&T, $140 now. Still creeping up on me just a little bit. And my gym, they said they raised the membership $5, but they still haven't charged me. But I'm going to keep budgeting for it so it's not a surprise. My AC contract and my Apple storage, which we all know is 55 or 99 cents, but I budget up to the next $5. That's why all of these are multiples of 5, which means my bills total is $1,090. And if you subtract that from $1,700, you get $610, which isn't bad. For the first half of the month, I'm usually a lot closer. So I bring down the 610. Groceries, I budget $200, and that is not working. I need to look at upping that, and that may be where my $25 raise goes, right there. Eating out, I budget $75. Car and fuel this time, I'm budgeting $40. I think I don't have as many trips as I've had lately. Always budget $20 for entertainment. I pull that out in cash and hold that, and then we have money to go to the movies or something more fun if we save it up. School, I'm budgeting $30. I don't know how many of you have this. We have a dress code where we're not allowed to wear jeans, but they do make an exception if you pay to the courtesy fund, which is the fund that sends out cards or baskets or whatever for baby showers, hospital stays, death in the family, anything that we want to express some sort of solidarity and concern and support with our coworkers, our colleagues. And I have been the recipient of some of those, and that's really great. And it is nice to have the option to wear whatever, truthfully, whatever's clean that day. So I'm going to keep that in there. Medical, I didn't have medical expenses most of the time, and a lot of times this ends up being some kind of supplement or over-the-counter thing, but I'm going to put it in there because I have been buying some supplements to kind of help with my health. So $610, all of this in my variable spending adds up to $405, which leaves $205 for savings and sinking funds. Now, I start out by, I had a Discover payment that was set at $75 forever till I finally paid off the Discover bill. So now I like to keep it in my budget. I don't want that lifestyle creep to be spending that money. I don't want to spend it on something like subscriptions or something frivolous. I could probably spend it on groceries. But for right now, I like to keep it in my budget for $75. I put $50 towards home maintenance, which is my priority sinking fund, and I just can't stop adding something to my emergency fund. I just can't. So anyway, I may find a way to take that down a little bit and put more in my other sinking funds. I just have to work on the mental side of it. Okay, so my checking buffer is always $50. That's got to come out of here. That leaves between the 50 and the 75, that's $125. That leaves me $80 to allocate between these 7 funds. So I try to give more of it to home maintenance than to the others. Then I'm going to do $10 to, I say these 4 are my ones that I want to feed regularly. Medical, I have an HSA that I'm contributing to, so this is just on the side, so it's a much lower priority. And my emergency fund, again, like I said, I may find a way of being comfortable with these and taking them off and trying to build these faster. But this adds up 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30. No, I didn't just add that in my head. I do have it on a draft next to me, a little cheat sheet. However, I also added it up in my head just as I went. So this leaves the $75 that I knew I needed to have down here, and that takes me down to 0. Okay, so this is my September budget. Do I have anything over here? Oh, I have this newer form that I'm using to track my high yield savings and my local savings, and I'll fill that out and have that for when I actually do close out this pay period. But I also have not been using this section, a priority goal for the month. And so I've set myself a goal. I want to file my medical claims, and I want you to check back in with me when I do either my check-in, if I do it mid-paycheck, or my paycheck closeout. I want to be accountable for whether or not I did that. And with that, I didn't want this to be long. I've been away for so long. I don't expect you to be watching extended videos with me. Let's just stick to the point. I will come back before September 5th, or on or before September 15th and update these numbers with my actual spending. Okay? Thank you for joining me. I know I've been gone for a while and I apologize again. Hopefully, I'm getting into more of a rhythm now. I am doing a little bit of batch filming, so hopefully that will help with my. Then I need to get into the habit of batch editing, probably, because that does slow some things down. But anyway, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad you're here. And I hope that we can start some conversations and create this community, which is what was always my goal, even back in April. Also, I am currently reading, and this may be appropriate, Atomic Habits. Most of you know it. If you haven't heard of it, everyone is talking about this book about building some good habits and getting rid of bad ones. I got 2 chapters in and I had to stop, reread, and journal about the 2nd chapter, and I started dreaming about it. So there's something really good about this book, or maybe it's just that it came along right at the time I needed it. Anyway, thank you for being here, and I will see you soon